Good evening. It feels good to stretch. I'm just waking up. I slept on the sofa today. Just crashed. I was eating a bagel and watching a movie this morning, and here I am now. It's just after 5 p.m. I'm on call today, so far so good. Fingers crossed. This chick goes into work tonight and doesn't call out. The shift starts at 5:30, so. But I'm on call for the entire shift, so the entire day. So if at any point she decides she wants to go home, or she calls, gets sick, or whatever, then I'll have to go in. So sucks being on call because I'm just like paranoid all day long that I'm constantly checking my phone because just wondering, if I missed a text or a call from anybody at work or whatever. And if I go anywhere, I have to bring my clothes, my shoes, and everything with me just in case because I'd have to be there within an hour. So it's just not fun being on call. Anyways, I'm sure the babies want to go out. They've been snuggling with me. There's Sadie. There's Jackson over there. Alright, I guess I'll get up and take them out for a little walkie. It's Monday, May 15th, 5:45 p.m. I watered this morning just to keep the seedlings all moist. But, sad to say, but I don't think these peppers in this bin are going to germinate. I might have fried them on the heat mat. So I'm going to start over with those. This is where I had sunflowers planted, but the squirrels got them. And I don't think these are going to germinate either. These were my zinnias that are supposed to be dwarf variety. Straw flowers, still nothing yet, but I just planted those last week. And I'm also really sad to say that I don't think these little flowers are going to germinate either. They were forget the name of them. This is already washed off, I guess. They were like, I call them the pineapple flowers because they have like this big round yellow ball at the top. Very hard, so they're good for like bouquets. Anyway, I brought these marigolds back home from Mom's house. These are ones that were not planted yet. And the ones that I planted in my garden, only one has survived. One of the 7. Right there. So I'm going to plant some more again. And I had a bird, robin, up here trying to make a nest on the top of the GreenStalk. So I noticed some debris up there, so I kind of like oh, look, I think they have started to build a real nest. I thought it was just a little bit of debris, but I'm actually seeing a lot of, hang on, I have to inspect further. I'm seeing a lot of stuff here. There is a nest. Can you see that? I thought it was just debris. Okay, well, I guess I won't evict it because the nest is built. But I just watered earlier because all of the strawberries up at the top were kind of like hanging over. They still looked healthy. They weren't like droopy because they were not watered, because I water like nearly every day, and it has not been super hot. Like yesterday wasn't terribly bad, and I watered. Did I water yesterday? No, I didn't water yesterday. I watered the day before. But regardless, they were droopy, I think maybe because the bird was in there making its nest. Interesting. Okay, so there actually is a real nest in there. I just saw a little bit of debris on the other side, and I just removed it, and a robin flew out. So that's funny, because I thought as I was watering and all the strawberries up here on this first level were droopy, I was like, wow, they need water. They're not droopy anymore, so I guess maybe that was the case. Maybe they did need some water. I'm gonna come through and chop off a bunch of the runners that I did not plant. There's some of the runners that I just went ahead and stuck in other pockets down here and buried them so that they'll grow some roots. But these runners are kind of like taking over up there, so I need to get those under control. And I don't need a GreenStalk full of strawberries, but they're kind of like taking over from level to level on this GreenStalk, so, which is fine. I mean, the strawberries are yummy. They're super tiny though. I really believe that the ones that I have up at the top tier, which is the small like 5-inch, 6-inch, whatever that is, I think because strawberries have a pretty deep root system, I don't think that's enough space for their roots, to be honest. I think they need the longer tier for them to be like, to have super yummy, bigger strawberries. That's the thing, to have bigger strawberries, because they are delicious. They're sweet. They're just not big by any means. They're pretty small. And I've been feeding them like every other week. I'll come through with my water bucket and I'll feed them 10-10-10 solution, water soluble. And they seem to be doing well this year. This is the first year they've actually looked this healthy. Anyway, enough about the strawberries. One of my little Swiss chard plants, this one here on the left, was getting snuffed out by some strawberries, so I had to dig him up and plant him down here next to the other one. And what else? Oh, the beans at Mom's house on the long trellis, those 30 pole beans that I planted. One actually got as far as to poke up through the ground last week, but it's gone now because the bugs ate it and nobody else is germinated. So I'm pretty sure the roly-polies ate them underground before they got a chance to sprout. So this tray is going to be full of the same beans that I planted over there. I got them from seedman.com, and these are supposed to be not like the wide variety of pole bean, you know what I mean, like those Italian, like the wide ones, but these I think are supposed to be round, like you get from a bush bean. So I'm excited to get these growing. Anyway, I figured they'd do better as a transplant after they've developed a substantial root system, because the roly-polies won't eat the seeds after they've become more developed. They only like the young roots. So that's the game plan for that tray. I need to water it in now. I just filled it with dirt, and I'm going to plant those marigolds over here, and some of those peppers I'm going to move into a larger one of those size, the 5-inch what am I talking about? Planter, 5-inch planter. I've got a few over here that have nothing in them also. So that's what I'm going to do with some of the peppers that have germinated. They're doing well. I'm really hoping that bin there germinates, because it doesn't seem to be. I think I overwatered the soil when I planted the seeds, and I think that's a problem with the seeds becoming waterlogged, and then they don't germinate. I think that's what happened with these the dwarf zinnias, aside from the gnat problem, because then I just let it dry out and then nothing happened. So I don't know. To be honest, I really don't know. But I'm loving my little bench, loving it. I come out here at night and sit and prop my feet up and just watch as the trellis blinks all night long. Anyway, well, that's interesting. I have a new patio mate, a bird. I hope I didn't scare it away for good, but I'm going to have to be more careful when I water that top tier, because I may have watered the poor birdies out earlier. They really did choose the wrong place to put their nest. Wrong place. But, I mean, the baby birds grow pretty fast. So, it'll only be a couple months. Before the baby birds are gone. I don't know if there are any seeds up there. Eggs up there. Because I'm not tall enough to actually see way up there. But hopefully the camera got something. Got to see what's in that nest. Alright, well, I'm going to get started planting these beans and transplanting some of these flowers and peppers. So I've just finished all of my transplanting of marigolds and peppers, and I was just relaxing, and I was sitting here and I turned around and I looked over at these mums that I actually started from seed last year. These ones here, they just have such teeny little button flowers. They're so small, they don't get much bigger than this. And this one, I believe, is one that I had planted in this pot that I bought 2 years ago. But anyway, look at these beautiful little mums starting to flower. And they reseeded themselves, because this one here, this one, and this one, I transplanted from the ground. Believe it or not, they were growing over here, right over here. And when I was doing that garden bed a couple weeks ago, I pulled them up and I threw them in this pot, because there were others in here also. Anyway, so they're thriving, and it's so cool. I mean, they're not like the mums that you buy at the grocery store, at the big box stores or whatever, in that the flowers aren't those bigger flower buds, but they're just so teeny tiny. Still pretty, nonetheless, still pretty. And they just reseed themselves, so that's pretty cool. The ones that you get at the store, I have not had the experience of them reseeding themselves, so this is pretty cool. These are seeds that I saved from that giant mammoth sunflower that was growing out front last year, in front of my front window. And I planted them in that bucket there. That's the bucket that I had been using for the marigolds, which if I didn't find a home for them, I went ahead and transplanted them, 8 of them in these little buckets, but I put 4 of them out front, and a few more here, a couple right there, and 1 right there. Oh, and about 3 or 4 in this pot, and same amount in this pot. 3 or 4 over here. Yeah, 4 of them. So there were quite a few marigolds, and those are supposed to be the dwarf that don't get much bigger than 8 inches or so, they say. But these other marigolds that I have planted here are the teddy bear marigolds. That's what I call them. That's not what they're actually called. They have really big flower heads, and they just remind me of a teddy bear, a yellow teddy bear. Anyway, so these ones get bigger. These ones are kind of bushy, which I really love. I think I might plant one here, possibly. We'll see. But I don't really know if I'm going to have tomatoes growing back here this year, aside from this one. This one is called the Very Cherry Cascade, and I planted 2 seeds. Only 1 germinated, I guess. Here's one of the marigolds. This is where the tomato actually was, this one. So I moved it over here because it's the type that cascades out of a garden, a pot like this that it's growing in. So I planted it here so that it can cascade over this way. And I came across my seeds that I saved last year for the portulacas, the sundial peach color. So I sprinkled a few more in here and in that one, because this one is a little more bare. But anyway, so it'll be super full. I probably didn't need to do that anyway, because they will self-seed, and they grow about that long, 4 or 5 inches long. Anyway, yeah, I found the portulacas that I saved. They were in this mess down here in water, but the bag was closed, so look at all those seeds. Tons of them. And I had 2 tomato plants that were growing out of my container in the front, but it's only a big enough container to hold, to sustain 1 tomato plant. So I pulled this one out and planted it here, and we'll let it get bigger. Probably we'll end up taking it over to Mom's house. And oh, let me show you the peas. The peas are doing well, and I was actually reading the package, and these peas can withstand heat, so they will probably thrive back here. And my bean, which is starting to grow, here's one of the leaves of my purple potted pole bean. It's not taken off too quickly because it's kind of being snuffed out by all these peas that I planted. I thought that I was planting the peas too late, and so I was like, what the heck, I'll just throw them all in and see what they do. Didn't even read the package that said that they were good in the heat. Garden candy. And so here they are. I mean, I'm not complaining. Not at all. They're very tasty. I just get the bigger ones. Every day I come out here and get to snack on about a handful of these beans. I love this one. Yeah. Got a handful. And, oh, here's one. This one's ready. For sure. That one was so sweet. Anyway, one more thing that I wanted to show you. Look at what is poking up through the ground already. Over there also. Some here. And there. Yeah, buddy. My caladium. They're already sprouting. There's one little sprout right there that I see. So, a couple over here that I see also. So, yeah. I'm kind of getting a late start with my front garden bed. I need to focus on that tomorrow. I was just waiting for like the tomato, you know, which is in that bucket over there, and it hasn't even germinated yet, so I don't know. Really wanted to grow the Green Doctor cherry tomato. I have a feeling that I should start some more, just in case those don't germinate, because I have a feeling the ones in that bucket are not going to germinate. Also, this German chamomile, I don't know how long it takes for that to germinate, but there's a bunch of teeny little sprouts. One looks like grass. A couple of them, I mean, they all really look like grass to me. So, I don't know. Maybe I should sprinkle some more in there and get it watered in. Hi, Joe. Yeah. I was just taking a bag to the garbage and noticed that my neighbor had planted some beans and some peas as well. And I don't know what these flowers are. They're very ferny-like, but they're starting to bloom. There's one over here, kind of looks like a poppy. Somewhat, maybe not. But isn't that beautiful? That's a beautiful color. And his raspberries, I think this is a raspberry bush. It was all in bloom the last few weeks, and now look at it. So pretty. Still has some blooms there too. Full of fruit. Full of fruit. And look at this giant fennel. Isn't that beautiful? That's fennel. At first I thought it was a giant dill, but he's like, no, that's fennel. Nice. And there's a castor bean. Here's another one. The original was like right here. And he had one in his garden bed also. That looks like a tomato. That's a tomato. The lilies are done. And there's some more of this ferny flower over here next to the compost bin. Oh, that's not looking very good. That cactus, that little piece came off. I'm not going to save it because I don't like that cactus. But he can save it. Happy birthday, Mema. I didn't even tell you happy birthday yet.
Thank you.
So me and Diane are at, where are we? Jade Chinese.
Yeah, I did.
For celebrating Mema's birthday. How old are you?
68.
68 years old.
Yeah.
68 years young.
Yeah.
You been feeling better lately?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
She said.
I got the General So chicken, and Mema got the shrimp
Lo mein.
lo mein, shrimp lo mein. And Mema doesn't like chicken. I just learned. She's been traumatized.